Welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another one of my live streams. And we got a bicycle project to continue onward with. So if you're just joining us, if you're fairly new to the channel, whatever, the bicycle project is something we started earlier this year. We've started rebuilding this sometime back. Um, we've pretty well got everything all taken care of, things taken apart, cleaned up. Now it's time to hit the bicycle project with a brand new coat of paint. That's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to make a few minor adjustments so I can keep up with the chat as best as I can. Princess Faye has taken the paint from me, says this is her department. I tend to agree. What's going on, Sean? So without further ado, whenever Princess Faye gives me the thumbs up, we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to start shooting this thing with some amazing looking paint. You guys are going to love it. No, I haven't turned it around yet.
Okay, I'm just saying that when you're ready, you can show the
Okay.
thing.
Might help if I.
Oh, your little button's got lines on it.
Alrighty, that's it right there. Good old Rust-Oleum. It's good to see you, Sean. I can't talk today, so whenever you're ready, babe.
You want to show the color?
Not yet. We'll let it hit the bike first.
Maybe stand over there.
You want me over here?
Yeah.
That one we already showed it the other night. So now that yeah.
Oh, okay. Where's the wind blowing?
Not blowing out. We're gonna get some buffering here and there. Just kind of expect it.
Such a weird shaped object to paint.
It is. Now don't forget you're gonna have to get up underneath off the tail end best you can.
I found where the wind's blowing.
No.
Am I green yet?
Not quite. You'll look like a leprechaun though if you're not careful.
Oh, that's not gonna work. We already passed that holiday.
No.
I'm going to work high.
You just fit a lot of the other co-workers that you and I usually have.
Shots fired.
No, I'm not an addict. Can you stop long enough to do your job?
Wind change.
Yep.
I'm gonna let that dry and then do another coat. How long is it supposed to dry for?
Hey, honey, My paint's a little thin right in here,
Okay.
right on that back post.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
I can see it a little bit better here. Just hold that, you don't have to.
If you get a run in my paint, I would be mad at you. Let it dry. And then do another coat.
I'll let it tack up real good. All right, turn you back around. Again, I don't suspect a whole lot of people be in with this particular live. We are early, a lot earlier than usual. I gave it a couple of minutes.
It has to dry for 1 hour.
Well, the final has to dry for an hour.
Apply second coat or clear coat within 1 hour or after 48 hours.
Yeah, that won't work. I honestly, most of the time, I've always just waited till it tacks up. That's just a precautionary thing because they have to figure in for weather, humidity, wind, elevation, barometric pressure, and those are too many variables. So I figure for the worst case scenario, an hour. You just have to wait till the paint tacks up. They're just playing safe. Good reason to, because then if they don't play it safe, what happens is someone invariably says your product doesn't work, when in reality it does work, you know. But you just give it a couple of minutes, it'll tax up. You know this. So, again, the bicycle project finally getting its coats of paint. About time I finish this, it'll be ready. Oh, I'm watching. What are you giving me that look for? God. Oh my goodness. Those artistic differences. And what do you guys think so far? Pretty neat? I think it's going to look neat when it's done. Now from here, Princess Bay has the challenge of going through and trying to figure out, you know, where the paint's going and making sure that it lays on there just right. So it's still, you know, so it's still consistent. When you're putting that first coat on, you're putting the primer on. That's why you have to put that first coat on pretty heavy. And that's a bodywork thing. Because after that, even if you miss it a little bit, get the paint a little bit thin, you're still okay. Okay. Okay, so right now, as it stands, we're just waiting for the paint to get good and tacky. It's important that it tacks up because if you just spray wet paint on, it'll run. You know, wet paint on wet paint, it'll just run. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid that. And the only way to avoid that is basically what we're doing right now, which is giving it time in between the coats of paint. Now, when you read the directions on the Rust-Oleum, one of the things that kind of comes up is the fact that they say give an hour between each coat. Now, this is, again, as I started to explain, this is done because you have to figure in for temperature, you have to figure in for the humidity outside, you have to figure in for sunlight, you have to figure in for a lot of variables. 1 hour is a safe bet. So if you will, the people that design this paint are playing it safe. In the weather that we got right now, it would take about 5 to 10 minutes to tack up. If it was cold outside, that would change. And if there was a lot of humidity, that would change. So you kind of almost have to go up and find a spot that wouldn't really be noticeable if you left a fingerprint on it and kind of touch it. If the paint is, sticky and doesn't feel like a wet mess, you're good to go. It's tacky. If it's beyond that point where it doesn't, feel kind of sticky to the touch, then at that point it's too dry. You have to let it continue to dry. Then you have to wet sand and start again. So that is why manufacturers like this, what they will do is they have to play it safe like that, because the last thing they want is someone to say, well, your product doesn't work. It got nothing but runs in it, it was a bad product. And that isn't necessarily the case. It's just they don't, it might be their first time spraying, or maybe they got in too big of a hurry.
Is that the shirt I bought you?
A while back, yeah. So just kind of a heads up on this little bit of information. Just play it real smart with the paint. You'll be all right. All righty. So again, when you're working with paints, even the different types of finishes kind of change the dry time as well. I mean, there's like a million variables. And I will also say that, as interesting as this may sound, about 95% of a paint job is the actual prep work. 5% is actually painting the dang thing. But then you have to have a whole lot of knowledge in between that 5% as well. It's not just you go out there, after priming, you just shoot paint on it. It doesn't work that way. You've got, paint won't stick to dust, and, you got a million things. Now, when you're painting outside like we are, you try to get it with as little wind as possible. It's important to remember too much wind and you're spraying paint everywhere except where on the project. Also, you can paint things outside. You can paint an entire car outside. A lot of people, I've seen outside paint jobs that end up looking better than ones that are done in an actual paint booth. It's important that you're in a well ventilated area when working with paint. We're outside. How much more well ventilated do you need? Take that into consideration. So, in that regard, if you take a lot of these things into account, you'll be pretty safe when working with paints. It doesn't matter if it's the rattle can paint like this, or you're actually spraying it or brushing it on. I don't care. All of these things are factors that you need to figure in. Okay? So, enough with the ranting. So, as soon as you finish that, go ahead and grab it and shake her up and do it again. I'm wondering how so far it looks like it's going on pretty decent. A couple of spots got a little thin on that first coat, but you kind of expect that. That's why you put numerous coats on, so you get that really nice all the time. Even though it's dry, it always looks like it's wet. The more coats you put on, the better it gets. So again, just typical stuff that they teach you, that you would learn in if you were doing an auto body class and you had to do any painting. These are the same things that they would teach you. So, and you want that nice, shiny, wet look of paint. It's amazing. But yeah, that first coat has to go on pretty thick. So, all righty, so far so good. As soon as Princess Faye finishes that next one, she'll go ahead and hit it with the second coat. How many coats are you thinking?
Until it's covered.
Okay.
I'm happy. I would be very surprised though with how well this coat went on if we get to the second can. I'd be very surprised if we got to the second can.
Really? Okay.
I'm glad we didn't buy 3 cans like we originally thought we were going to do.
Right. Real quick, also, what is paint for? It's really only to protect the metal, but people like it colorful. Go figure.
Now the hard part, baby.
What's that?
Well, you haven't bought any clear. We don't want to clear it anyways until it's completely dry, exposed.
Right.
But what about artwork? Do you want any artwork on it? I know you said you wanted the name of the channel on there.
Right.
Anything else?
That would be it. Unless you decide to put anything on it.
You want the cute frillies on the handlebars? You want a little ting ting?
No. That's just smoky winery ass.
You don't want a ting ting?
No, I don't need a ching ching.
Maybe I want a ting ting.
Oh my goodness.
Ting ting.
Oh, wow. Chat's been moving and I didn't even know it.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even know it. Love the green. Oh, Cinnamon, I think she understood. A&R, welcome. AKA James 615. My goodness, so many wonderful people in here. Yeah, A&R, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, the chat wasn't moving and it just wasn't keeping me up to date. But yes, we're on the bicycle project. Real quick, for those of you who do not know, AKA James 615, dear friend of ours here on the channel. Every now and again he pops in. Always appreciate him popping in. Really a fantastic guy. I think I met him.
Hello, Sean.
I met him a long while back in Choice's Games live streams, which I talked to Choice. He's working out some details with his scheduling and everything. And he's talking about live streaming once again. It would be really nice to see him live stream. Really a fantastic guy. 10,000 supporters and going. I mean, this guy really nailed it down, and he's doing very, very well with his numbers. Fully monetized and just, amazing guy. Amazing guy. I get such a kick out of him. And someone mentioned the bug thing. Yeah. And if you've got fresh cut grass, expect problems with that too. A lot of people don't think about that either. But yep. So, you ready? Okay, next coat. We already did our light sanding and then used a tack cloth. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats.
Did you answer the hardware question?
No, I didn't.
Someone asked what kind of hardware you were going to put on the classic style frame.
Oh, that's a good question. We're going to keep it pretty simple, A&R. It's going to be as simple can get. Again, I do apologize. The chat just was not keeping up for some odd reason. I don't know why, other than it was just being a turd.
I have a bug.
Just, you're going to mess it up that way. I'm going to say, A&R says hi. We're just mainly looking at for nothing too crazy. We got some hardware upstairs. We'll take a look at that stuff again.
I have a bug.
You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's why you put the multiple coats. You're gonna get, that's Yeah, electric bikes. Yeah, but then you're still plugging them in. I'll stick with this. I thought about seeing about a gasoline operated bicycle.
It's called motorcycle.
No, gasoline operated. You could basically put a little a little bike on the frame. Yeah, it does look like that. Come to think of. Again, I apologize. The chat, we're going to get spots where the live stream is going to go dead for a minute. That's just the nature of where I live.
Let's move out to the country. That sounds like a great idea.
Oh, you love the color? Oh, yeah, it looks amazing. Looks absolutely amazing. And for those of you who missed it last night, Cinnamon had her very first solo live stream. The character that we have created, or should I say the monster we created. Green, yeah. Hunter Green. Princess Faye really liked this color and said that the bicycle should be this color.
Wee wee.
Got it? All right, I would say smoke another one. And then by the time you finish that smoke, the next coat should be ready. And you're thinking that should be it?
I almost don't even know if she needs another coat.
You want to leave it?
We'll see what happens here in a few minutes.
All right. So far, so good. The bicycle project's turning out nice. I'll finish the chain guard myself. And then we'll look at doing some stuff to the fender wells that go on it. And then after that, we'll look at doing, start putting it back together, which we'll probably start doing that pretty soon. From here, the only things that we really need to worry about is getting the bearings cleared up so they're not, there's no rust or anything on them. Little things like that. And it's just a matter of assembling it and putting it back together, all new parts, or parts that are salvageable, which it's good to see you guys. It's really good to see. I know it's kind of an early morning for some of us, but that is okay by me. So, I'm figuring about another 5 episodes and this bike will be ready to ride, and that'll probably be the 5th episode. So you guys could see this thing in action. Again,
we're sitting on a line of ants. We might want to move so they can get their food to their home.
Oh, okay.
And they don't climb on us.
Well, they're not over here, so we're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're over there.
So again, we got a lot accomplished. Took us a few months to get to this point, but sometimes that's how projects go. You go for a little while, and you go as far as you can go. Then you got to back off, get your ducks in order, and then
Quack.
Restart again.
Quack. Quack.
Yep, exactly. Quack, quack. So we're figuring about the time that Princess Faye finishes her smoke, it takes her a few minutes. It'll be ready for that 3rd and final coat, unless she feels that it's not necessary. If it's not necessary, we're gonna leave the bike where it is, shut the stream down, and clean up, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Now, I know some of you would have liked to have seen a metallic go on this thing, but I'll be absolutely honest with you. Metallics can be very finicky anyways. We wanted a simple, easy spray. But the problem is that the problem with metallics is everybody's doing it as well. So it's nice to go a little retro, go old school. Metallics were, if you will, back in the day, metallics were an option. Today, it's everywhere. So it'd be nice to see a change of pace. Come on, it's a retro style bicycle. It's got to have gloss. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Back then, gloss was the way to go. Gloss was definitely the way to go back in the day. And the nice thing about this bicycle project, I'll be able to do some stuff, get into shape a little bit better, things like that. That's been a big complaint of mine is I'm not in the shape I should be. And if I'm supposed to be pulling off the Cinnamon character, I need to get into shape. What's going on, Queen? We're doing some painting. Well, Princess Faye is. I just, got it to this point. Show you what we got. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. The bicycle is getting a nice, fresh paint job. We're thinking about one more coat, maybe at best. But here you go. Oh, you on Fortnite? I'll be on there just shortly. Oh, you wish you had a basket on? Get one. Put it on there. There you go. Looking good so far. Looking real good. James was in here a while ago. It's looking good. Princess Faye's almost done. Okay, real quick. While we're outside, we do need to do something really, really funny. Something that it's something you come to expect out of the channel. And what is that? Come on. Spoiler alert. Oh, and that's the scoop. There we go. There you go. Got to think of that stuff just because it looks good. You knew I was going to do that. Come on, it's like that goes together like like death and taxes. Oh. Thought you might like that A&R. Whenever I grab a drill, I'll towards the camera and say it's only a drill. After we did the axe project, every now and again I'll hold it up and say, y'all need to ask me any questions. Stuff like that. The puns are strong here on the Prince Magnum channel, that is for sure. Along with that, again, if you missed it last night, Cinnamon was live for her very first appearance. Didn't quite go according to plan. We had a late start. That happens from time to time, here on the channel. But we went for a good while, and the playback was very, very popular. It's actually running pretty rampant right now. I was actually really shocked at the playback. So, people running the playback, the comments have been very huge, very, very supportive. So I hang out the character just a little bit more, obviously, getting people to, I swear to God, Alrighty. I apologize. YouTube strikes again. Kick me out of my own live stream, sons of bitches. But no, alive, thank goodness. So that is where it stands right now. I know a lot of you are really enjoy the character. So for those of you who want to see more of Cinnamon, obviously there's going to be that, and we may be adding kind of like the spot in the Discord where you can ask Cinnamon questions that she'll answer in live streams. I think that might actually be kind of fun. So definitely on board.
A little birdie told me that you weren't going to do cinnamon anymore.
Um,
To address that?
I was actually upset because a lot of people were not showing up for that particular stream. And I had said that that if I didn't start seeing people come in the next 5 minutes, with basically, I was very upset about that. What's going on, TFC? I was just talking about last night's live stream. I was very angry with that. It's like, y'all asked for this, and where are y'all at? And I was pissed. And it's like, I won't do the character if that's going to be the case, So I put, stood my ground on that, and a few people actually spoke loud and proud about it. So the character is still on, but yeah, it's one of those things. Y'all wanted it, you got it. Let's support it. So that's where I stand on it. And basically, if the character's just not going to be watched, of course, I made a lot of that in my early days. Content that wasn't watched. You have to start somewhere. Alrighty. You're gonna get that, baby. Once you hit it with that next coat, yeah. Alrighty. Turn y'all around so you guys can see what's happening. There we go. Thinking this would be it?
It doesn't need another coat. It just needs some touch-ups.
2 touch-ups? Okay. Good to see you, TFZ. Final steps in the bicycle project. Looks good. Looks amazing.
Okay, I'm happy.
You happy with it? Okay. So there we have it. All right. Appreciate you being here. Hi, Noel. Welcome to the live. Doing great. Just putting the finishing touches on the bicycle project paint job. We're actually getting ready to wrap it up. But we'll chill out for a few minutes. But what do you think? We stripped this thing down.
Don't forget to grab that little sandpaper piece.
We stripped it down. We put a new coat of paint on it, and here soon we're going to start building it back up. Hey, I understand. You got a project. If you ask one of my moderators to grab that link, they'll be glad. Yeah, if one of the mods don't mind, could you guys grab their link and drop it in there? Yeah, it turned out really nice. I mean, the paint came out really good. Nice shine to it. And even if it's got a little bit of orange peel in it, it's perfectly okay. I'm not gonna, a couple spots here and there. Any time in the comments section, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, A&R. Turned out really nice. And once it dries, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Oh, you got your, the link was dropped for you. Yeah, green turned out really. I'm running a serious. All right. Wasn't that your link, Noel? Wasn't that your link that was dropped? Scroll, if you look up just above it, you'll see it. Yeah. So thank you. It's good to see you all here. Again, Bicycle Project now well on its way. I have to know you well before I even consider giving you moderation, but I will say that anytime, also in the comments section, you're in the comments section for any of my videos, you can post your links. Okay, I'm not one of those ones unless it's like really bad. Oh, you're from the Philippines? I am actually from Missouri, United States, a little bitty small town. All righty, thank you. I just, I'm in a little bitty small town in the middle of Missouri, honestly. Population probably about 5,000 at best. Around that, if it was that small. So, but yeah, it's been a whirlwind with the projects. We've been very busy with the projects. Here, real quick, for Noel, who's from the who's a Filipino, let me introduce you to the project car here on the channel. None other than Project Spirit, my 1975 Ford Maverick 4-door. This is the car that I just love to drive. It's my baby. Earlier this year, Princess Faye and I actually redid this taillight panel. We're getting ready to start on the rear end of the car and up on the front nose and all that, and begin doing the work there. Right next to Project Spirit is Project Lena. We'll look at her in a second. Project Spirit's looking really dirty right now. I don't like that. Right over here, this is Project Lena. Oh, really? That's neat. This is Project Lena, my wife's project car. This is her baby. She's worked on a little bit here, a little bit there. We just did this earlier this year. Oh, yeah. We got some neat rides. Project Spirit's, like I said, Project Spirit's looking really filthy right now, but they're pretty cool cars. And this car is actually coming up on where she's going to be a grand total 46 years old here in a couple months. Pretty neat. If you ever want to know on these old cars, where to find the year it was, the month and the year it was made, be right there. Date 11/74. She was built in November of 1974 for the new model year. Original engine still under the hood. Still runs like a champ. This car here, not quite as old, 2003. So you got a 1975 Ford Maverick, 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. So, nifty, nifty, nifty stuff. You know, we're always working on something here on the channel. We're always, it's all about the projects. What are we doing next? Staying busy, staying active, trying to inspire all of you, even if you don't want to work on a project that big, but inspire you to get out there and do something with yourself. The main objective is always to continue working and doing something, moving forward, because the more you learn. And it's all about, you know, what can you add into life? You know, it's not always about what you can take away from life, but what can you add into life? That hard work, continual learning, amazing. I can't wait until later on to bring it upstairs and we'll start reassembling. Before you know it, it looks great. It looks absolutely amazing. Really? Oh, you get some buffering? I don't see any on my end, but oh, don't you know, appreciate that. Appreciate you coming in. Different. Ta-da! That gloss looks amazing. A&R is one of those really awesome people that's here on the Prince Magnum channel. Very grateful for A&R. Amazing friend to us all. It looks great, doesn't it, guys? In a couple hours, we'll bring it upstairs and set it aside and begin working on the rest of it. So the green turned out amazing. Princess Faye selected that color herself. She thought the bike should be green. I tend to agree with her now, more than ever. I agreed with her before, but you know. All righty. So let's start making our way upstairs and we'll start slowing the stream down. We've got more to stream later on today. I'm still debating what we're going to be working on, but we will be working on something. Something exciting, something different. Who knows? Who knows? We might even try another test stream of Fortnite. It's going to be interesting and exciting. Whew, great stream. Got a lot done. And what's going on, Zaz? You missed it. You missed it. We were just outside finishing up the bicycle project. It looks great. It looks great. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be amazing. Putting it back together. I'm looking for my cup. It turned out wonderful. I'm very happy with it. It's good to see you. Zaz, you've been here long enough. Okay, real quick. There you go, Zaz. You are now a Maverick mechanic because you have been here long enough. Oh, you'll just rewatch it? Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, again, when you're here long enough and I get to know you a little bit, don't be surprised if I don't hand you one of the Maverick mechanic wrenches to watch my back, because we don't get trolls here on the channel. We get straight up stalkers. It's ridiculous. So bicycle project now in its, now on the downhill slope, a lot more yet to do to it. I'm figuring at the rate that we're going, it's probably going to be at least another 5 episodes of us working on the bicycle project before pizza. I love it. I love it. It'll be a little while longer before we're ready to take a look at the bicycle. You know, actually finishing up, and you guys getting to see the bicycle project in action. That'll be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to taking it out and trying it out and starting to get back into shape. I know all of you are excited. So later on, we will do something. I don't know what, but we definitely got this out of the way, so I'm really excited about that. So expect the usual time later on today. Like I said, we will definitely get on to the next project, whatever that project is. Um, I know at some point we're going to take some of the tools that we have refurbished here on the Prince Magnum channel, and we're going to basically set up a fire pit and do a nice live stream, basically with a fire pit, uh, burning some, basically getting the wood and everything using the tools that we refurbished here on the channel, and it can only be tools used, that we refurbished here on the channel. So that'll be really neat, I think, for you all to. We've got a handsaw, we've got different hands on the channel. Shoot, before you know it, we'll probably even have other tools that just needed refurbishing, which will be really, really cool. Um, so, again, another project down. We're on to the next. Okay, well, another part of the project down. Now it's on to the next part. And the next part, like I said, it kind of depends from here what we're going to do next. So, all of that being said, again, thank you all for being here. If you had not had a chance to smash that like button, please do so at this time. All of that being said, if no one out there has told it, hang on a sec, what's wrong with me? Get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you. Oh, just like, thank you so much. So awesome.